Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be documenting, this is my little granddaughter Fallon and my son Cameron and his wife Avery, and they went to the zoo. This was Fallon's first trip to the zoo and her first trip riding a carousel. So I just have the two pictures. So today we're going to do a single page layout. Let me bring in my mat here. And I think I'm going to build this. I'm going to use a sheet of white, but I want to make a frame style layout. So I think I'm going to use this pink. This is Bubble Bath. I'm not going to cut everything yet, just until we kind of lay everything out and see what we have. But I have a larger photo here. This photo looks about 4 1/8 by 6. So we're going to put that here, and I want to kind of just tilt that one a little, kind of like that. I am going to use, I had this piece right here left over from, this is from the Celebratory Sips paper collection, and I had a little strip left over, and I thought that would just be perfect to make a little tag. So I cut it into a very large tag, and I just haven't had a project yet to use it on, so I thought it might look cute on this one. So I'm thinking of taking this big tag and just kind of placing it diagonally right here and putting my pictures on top. That paper is a little busy. We'll probably find another color to go ahead and mat this in. But this Bubble Bath is a coordinating color in this paper pack. So this should be fine if we go ahead and decide to use that. But let's put this down here. Let's add a few embellishments around it and see what we think of how busy it is, because I don't want all the embellishments in the paper to overtake my photos. That way we can still see. Let me gather some embellishments and we'll get started. Okay, I think I want to do an embellishment cluster here. And I may move these over a little bit because I think this right here will be my main cluster. And then we're going to do a small cluster here. And I've gotten the Pretty Florals out. This stamp set is still available, but you can see how many dies it has. You can stamp the different flowers here in their stems, or it has these standalones that cut beautiful flowers. It cuts the base, and then you cut this one, and it goes on top of it. I've got a few cut out. Let me show you what they look like. I went ahead and cut some out in Strawberry Slush. This is also a coordinating color for this paper collection. And I went ahead and I just cut a white center to go on top of it so it'll stand out. But you just glue those together, and there's your flower. And I was thinking we could make a grouping. Since I want this to be my main grouping, I did cut 2 for down here. Let's see. Make sure I get these on correctly. I think it's like that. So I got 2 for down here. Then I cut 1 to go here. Start here. Well, oh, I got it backwards. That's why it's not fitting. Should fit right in there. So we'll put 1 right here. And then we have some of the little stems. I have this, I believe, is a mossy meadow color. And I cut some, this is the smaller flower in that stamp set, and it's going to go right on the ends of these. And we're going to ink up the edges of these in a minute here to help fill those out and make those stand out a little more. So we have one for up here. And I did cut these smaller flowers out of the lighter side of the bubble bath just to try to tie in some of the embellishments to our border here. So we'll get those put in. And then I've cut some, these are some of the leaves. And we'll get some leaves put in. Put some up here. I have another one here. Let's see. Leave it there for now. I don't want to get too much of my pictures covered up. And then I have some of the little branches. Like I say, these were all cut from the Pretty Florals. This one right here is what I used to cut the small flowers here. This little sprig is what I used to cut these. And then I have this little sprig here makes the base for the flowers here. So all of it from the same Pretty Florals collection. All right, so I went ahead and cut some green sprigs, and I did cut some from the strawberry slush just to see how that would look. And there again, I don't want to cover up too much of my picture. Sliding those down in there. I think I'm just going to go with the green for right now. I might revisit the pink ones. I just don't want to, I don't want it to overpower. Just don't want it to overpower my pictures. All right. I like that. And I also found this on my Cricut. I thought this would be a cute little embellishment just to add in here. Maybe on the side. Let's bring these up. Let me add this in first. Add that right on the side there. Even scoot these flowers down a little bit. And I may end up cutting the edge of this off if we decide that it's just a little too much. All right, so now we'll add the smaller flowers back up here. And then let's get those little sprigs. Maybe one there and one there. Ooh, I like that. Okay. I'm going to put some white right behind here just to see if we might want to go ahead and just trim off that. Oh, I made a mess, didn't I? Let's see if this might look better just on the white background. Okay. I think that may look best. Let's see, I also have this is just a little sticker I had, but I thought it would be good to fill in this little area right here. Just a stick-on flower, some more pink flowers right in there, just to kind of fill in that little gap. All right. I do think I like this on the white. So let me get all of this adhered down. Before I do that though, I was just thinking, I wonder, I'm going to cut some yellow flowers and switch these out, and let's just see what it looks like since she's wearing yellow in this picture. These were taken on 2 different days, so she has on a different outfit in each one, but in this one she has the yellow outfit and they have the yellow tiger here. Let's just see what it would look like with some yellow. Give me just a moment. All right, I cut some of those flowers out of the yellow. This is Daffodil Delight, which is also a coordinating color here. And I do believe I like this better. This is just stands off of that. There's so much pink in this already that I felt like that pink just, I don't know, got lost on top of it. It all ran together. But this also, I think, really makes this photo stand out. Because now when I look at it, my eye is drawn to that yellow color here. And then in the little horse here, I still have some pink to match the pink around. And the seat and stuff is blue, which her little outfit in this picture is blue. So it kind of ties that in together. But I didn't like the pink with the yellow. So I cut some of these small flowers to go on this in BlackBerry Bliss. So I just feel like that all stands off just a little bit better. I think I will go ahead and trim this tag just so that this corner is white to stand out off that white. I think this one looks good. So let me, I want to do a little ink distressing on these as well. So let me show you what I'm going to do on that. Let me just move this over to the side and we will get our ink out. Okay, I got some scratch paper here, and I didn't have Daffodil Delight, so I'm going to try the Darling Duckling, and we'll just put a light coat. We just want to put a light edging around just to give the flowers a little defining edge. So we're just going to see what this looks like. I'm going to tap it off, and then we'll just lightly go around the edge here. We just want to darken it a little where it has just a little shadow, just to kind of give it some outline. And that just helps it not look so flat on your page when you put it down, because it'll just give it a little defining edge and almost a little lift off the page, because it just gives it a little shadow. So let's go ahead and do that for the other 2 here. Not too much, just a little bit around the edge. And I'm just doing small circular motions right around the edge. You could go as far in as you wanted. You could give it a little darkening all the way to the center if you would like. But I think I'm going to go just right around the edge. It'll also make that little piece we're going to glue on top stand off of it a little bit. So there we go. I'm going to give this one just a little bit more. You can see the gist of it here. I'll get the rest of it done off camera and we'll be right back. All right, I'll bring this down into the center again. And I really like the way these look. And they will dry back probably just a little lighter, but I like the way that gives it that little shadowy edge around. So let's go ahead and start getting this adhered down. I'm going to go ahead and cut down my papers. I'm going to go ahead and use the pink border. And so I'll get those cut down and we'll get started gluing all these together. All right, I got those papers cut down and I got our pictures and our background adhered. And I was going to show you, I did gut that paper out to save all that paper in the middle there. You just use your rail trimmer for that. And then I cut my white paper down by 1 inch. That gave me a 1/2 inch border all the way around. And then I did go ahead and cut a small BlackBerry Bliss mat for my photos. I thought that gave it helped it stand off that background just a little bit more. So let's go ahead and get all our embellishments here adhered down. I did go ahead and glue the little centers on, so we can go ahead and just start rebuilding our embellishment clusters like we had them. So we're going to start with our yellow flower there, and I have our green leaves. So we'll get us some leaves attached in here. One coming out this side. And then we need some sprigs. Okay, for our little carousel horse, I have popped that up on foam tape. I wanted that to stand out a little bit, so let's go ahead and get these pulled off. And we'll stick him right there on the corner. All right, I'm gonna line up that pole right with the edge of that picture, and I think right there. And we're gonna get our flowers back on the edge. All right, I decided I wanted the end of that to show just a little bit, so I believe we're going to do it like that. Let's see what it looks like if I put these underneath. No, we're going to put them on top. Right there. All right, and I'll get some leaves down here. All right. I wasn't with them on this trip, so I don't know a whole lot about what they did. I know they went down to the San Antonio Zoo, and they found this little carousel horse to ride, and apparently fell in love with it, because I noticed she's on the horse by herself in this one, so she must have liked it pretty good. She's a pretty outgoing little girl, and she likes doing stuff like that. So we'll get our flowers stuck down here. All right, and I have to show you some of the new online exclusives that have just come online and live for you to order. So I'm going to pull those out so you can see them. Let's get us another sprig or two put in here, and I will give you a peek of those. Okay, I have from the new online exclusives. These went live November 4th. You can find this in the online exclusives. But I have this is Swirled Designs. And this is also the new packaging that Stampin' die sets are in now. But I did get the stamp set and the die set. Now, each one came in their own envelope. But you can see I have some extras. I took them out and combined them into one, and I just put them back to back because the stamp sets have the artwork on them now. Let me get these out of here. Stamp sets have the artwork on them now, so you can see what the stamps look like. Yeah. Paper wants to cling in there. There we go. All right, so I just put them in one back to back. That way I have the stamp artwork on one side and the die set artwork on the back side. And then I can store them together so when I want to use them, they're together. So today I have cut out, I'm going to use the stars. Let me go ahead and I'll just show you the die set. I will get these put on a magnet, I just haven't got it done yet. But here's the dies. So here's the star that I cut out. And it cuts the center out. We have ovals, diamonds. This looks like a little sprig, and here's the flowers. We have some small stars. So I'm just going to be using the stars today. So I cut those out of silver. Thought I would use this for my little bling to go on to give my page a little bit of shine. So I have cut 2 large stars, and then I have several of the smaller stars that I thought I could sprinkle around. So I just want to get one of these in each cluster. Let's get this. Let's see. Where are we? There we go. And I thought I would put one, I thought about putting it over here, but that puts them both at the top. I think I'm going to put it right down here underneath the bling down, underneath the flowers down here for a little bit of bling down there. Let's see if we can get underneath those. There we go. And now then I have several of these little stars that I thought we could sprinkle around the page just for some bling. We can use these instead of our bead bling around. So I'm just going to lay a few around until I see where everything's going to go here. Because I do still have to get my title on. All right. I feel like these purple flowers, I feel like this color needs to be brought back over to this side. So I've made just a small stem with 1 flower. I'm going to add it to this cluster just to bring that purple color over to this side as well. A way to give it a little more balance because it kind of felt heavy on that side. So I think bringing that one little flower over will help balance that color out. And then for our title, I am going to be using the Snow Day. These have some great titles, but I'm going to use this one right here that says Magical Memories. So we'll just get that loaded up on our block, and I'm going to stamp it. I'm going to stamp it directly on a layout. It's going to go right here. And then we'll use this little square left over here for our journaling block. So let me get that popped up on a block, and I'm going to stamp that in Secret C. So I'm going to rub it good. I have not actually used this one, so we're going to rub it up real good, get the all right, and let's practice once. Let me get some scrap paper here. So I'm going to practice once. All right, and that looks really good. And I do think I have this foam sheet here. I think I will just add that right underneath right there. That'll just give us a little cushion to mash this down on. So get that inked back up. And then let me make sure it's straight so we're going to put it down right there. We're going to hold it, let that ink soak in, and then pick it straight back up. There we go. Love it. All right. Now then, I'm going to go ahead and glue these little stars down right here. And we're going to let that be our bling. So I'm going to get my glue, put just a small dot on each one. And this has come together really quickly. I really, really love these new swirl die set. I think these shape elements just add a lot to your layout, and they're good, good embellishing tools when you just need to add a little something to your cluster. So we'll get these added down here. And I'm not seeing where that one went. So I will find that in a minute. Let's go ahead and get a little bit of glue on the, whoops, we'll get it on the inside here. I don't want to glue it down all the way to the edge because I don't want it flat on the page. We're just going to stick that leaf right back in there. Put that down right there. All right. And I think, oh, there it is right there. I found it. So we'll go ahead and get a little glue on the edges of that. Get it back on there. All right. And I think we are done. Let me give you a closer look at some of those shapes and the shine. There's our title. And don't forget to go and check out the new online exclusives. They went live on November 4th, so you should be able to get those. I just found this too, enchanting. This would be cute to put down right down in here. I think we're going to go ahead and add that to our layout as well. Never know what you're going to find just laying around. There we go. That was perfect. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up at the end and like and subscribe to my channel so you know when I post new videos. And thank you so much for hanging out with me today. And until next time. Here's a video that YouTube thinks you'll enjoy.